Toy Story 5 could be exactly what the franchise needs following Lightyear's disappointment, but the sequel should not ignore Buzz's box office bomb entirely. Let me know in the comment section if you feel Toy Story 5 should touch upon how Lightyear bombed at the box office. But before I scream like a damsel in distress and Espanol Buzz tries to seduce me with his flamenco dance, I'd like to say hello guys and gals, I'm Nick, and welcome to Furthy's Feedback. So, when Pixar launched Lightyear, the studio envisioned a bold new direction that could potentially spawn multiple future spin-offs. The spacefaring sci-fi story was expected to usher in a fresh era of Toy Story, leveraging the appeal of Chris Evans by casting him as the legendary Buzz Lightyear. However, despite being part of a multi-billion-dollar franchise, Lightyear was a shocking box office bomb, making just $226 million against a budget of $200 million. Unfortunately, Lightyear did not receive positive reviews either. Lightyear has 74% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is extremely low compared to the other entries in the remarkably evergreen Toy Story series. However, Toy Story 5 is currently in development, and while the release date is likely years away, a return to the classic series is the perfect way to bring Toy Story back to form, or bring in more money, which is what we all think. Though not much is known about Toy Story 5 at present, Tom Hanks and Tim Allen are returning as Woody and Buzz, despite the two friends seemingly saying a final farewell in Toy Story 4. Nevertheless, while Toy Story 5 faces a big challenge following Lightyear, the sequel cannot ignore Pixar's 2022 failure. Part of the reason Lightyear bombed was because audiences felt confused about the movie's premise. It's explained at the beginning that Toy Story's Buzz is a toy based on the main character of Lightyear, which was Andy's favourite movie in 1995, and the real-world 2022 release is supposed to be that very movie. Lightyear's popularity within the Toy Story universe means that the movie was a huge success in universe at least. For that reason, it would be strange if Pixar didn't address the fictional film franchise in Toy Story 5, especially with the plastic version of Buzz confirmed to return. With Tim Allen reprising his role as Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story 5, the story could potentially get even more confusing, given that the last time audiences heard the Space Ranger, he was voiced by Chris Evans. That difference will become more apparent after the change in Buzz Lightyear's voice was not addressed by Lightyear. While audiences can make their own assumptions about why the Buzz Lightyear voice is different in Lightyear, this loose end could finally be explained in Toy Story 5. There is a golden opportunity for Toy Story 5 to lay the groundwork for Lightyear 2. The sequel certainly cannot afford to focus heavily on setting up sequels and spin-offs. This is a mistake that many studios make, and something that Pixar has expertly avoided until now. However, by allowing Buzz to make subtle references to the in-universe Lightyear film franchise, or perhaps juxtaposing his own backstory with the events of Lightyear, Pixar can weave the two storylines together. Buzz could even discuss how his backstory from the movie is different from what was revealed in Toy Story 2, that Zurg is his father. This would not only create wider Pixar intrigue, it might also resolve the lingering questions about Lightyear's place within the Toy Story universe. The biggest challenge Pixar faces, however, is finding a reason for the issue to be raised in Toy Story 5, given that Lightyear was Andy's favourite film way back in 1995. It isn't clear in what year Toy Story 5 will be set, but if as many years pass as they have in real life, Toy Story 5 will take place over 20 years after the original movie. This also raises questions of why Buzz and other characters have never mentioned the Lightyear movie until now. The intriguing decision to recast Tim Allen with Chris Evans left a rift within the Toy Story franchise. Not only did the recast contribute contribute towards the movie's confusion, but Alan's performance of Buzz across 4 movies and numerous shorts is what helped make the character iconic. Even Alan himself criticised Lightyear's casting, also commenting that there's no Buzz without Woody. However, a cameo from Chris Evans in Toy Story 5 could playfully alleviate Lightyear's casting complaints and win over critics, which could in turn help Lightyear 2's chances of happening. With the clever writing and animation that the studio is known for, Pixar could acknowledge the recasting debacle. Additionally, the prospect of Chris Evans' Buzz making a cameo in Toy Story 5 would serve as a bridge between the two narratives. It would be a bold move, but Pixar has a long storied history of pushing the boundaries of storytelling. Integrating Chris Evans into Toy Story 5 even briefly might just be the stroke of genius the franchise needs to make a Lightyear sequel reality.